I don't know if anyone's told you this yet, but we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. I want to share that we're all gonna die. So why are we getting so wrapped up in our heads? Why are we getting so worried? Why are we so scared? Why are we holding ourselves back? Why are we worrying what other people think? Why are we trying to live someone else's life instead of our own? Why are we doing this to ourselves? And so I know from personal experience that we can be our own worst enemy. We can hold ourselves back, but we're not guaranteed another day, and we are all going to die. My successful mentors, billionaires, millionaires, people who live lives authentically to themselves have shared that they think about their own mortality and the power of death. I thought this was crazy. I was like, what the heck? This is kind of weird. I know Sarah Blakely, the billionaire founder of Spanx, had a sign in her office like, you're going to die. And all of her coworkers or people came in and were like, Sarah, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, what? Like, it's motivational. And for them, they're like, people are freaked out by this. What are you doing? But I'm going to share with you 5 reasons why I think you should think about your death, or at least what's helped me and why I've chosen to think about my death as often as I can. I find that the more that I think about it, and if I think about it multiple times a day or during certain situations, it's made my life a million times better. Okay, so the first reason that I think about my own death is to make decisions. One thing, let's take it a little bit before death. So maybe like your 85-year-old self. I've heard Alex Hormozi talk about this, and he told me this one time, and it changed the game. It's a frame you can use. So, for example, I talk about this because it's a simple example, but I had bangs my whole life. I was one of those kids that, a lot of kids get bangs when they're little, and then they cut them off, or they say, Mom, I don't want these anymore, or whatever. For some reason, I didn't. And I liked my bangs, but at some point I was like, I don't want them anymore. It just doesn't feel like me. I just want to not have them. But I've had them for like 30 years. So it was kind of like a part of my identity, or a part of me. It felt so weird. The forehead's exposed. Oh God, oh my gosh. Or even just growing them out is so awkward. And so I eventually was like, what would my 85-year-old self say? What would she say if I'm lucky enough to live that long? Would she be like, Elizabeth, just get rid of your stupid bangs. Like, it's just bangs. Get over it. Like, deal with the discomfort. It's going to be weird at first, but try it. And then if you don't like it, you can always put your bangs back. Right? And so it was so simple. And you could be like, seriously? You were worried and you didn't want to get rid of your bangs, and that was a big decision for you? Yeah, stupidly that was. There's some things, like I went skydiving, no big deal. Like, let's go, jump out the plane, who cares? But for some reason that bangs, it was holding me back a little bit. And I was like, if bangs are holding me back, I got some work to do. So anyways, I got rid of them. It was uncomfortable. I'm a teacher, and some students were like, oh, that's so cool. And others were like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? And, got so many opinions. But I was like, I'm going to do this. My 85-year-old self says I need to do it. I didn't actually say that, but knowing that and just thinking about that has helped me make so many decisions, or even deciding to pursue business or YouTube or these channels. I'm like, what would my 85-year-old self say? Would she be sad that I did it? Would she be sad that I didn't do it? And it totally changes the game. Try it out. I also use this frame and that I'm going to die to make different choices. And so, for example, I was talking about how fear or insecurity or worry or doubt or what other people think of you or think you should do can hold you back. How many of you feel like you should do what your parents tell you, or you don't want to disappoint them, or you think society says you need to go buy a house, get this job, get married, have a certain amount of kids? Yeah, you might do that, but maybe there's something else in store for you, or maybe you go on a different path first. And maybe you feel called to a certain path, just like we all have different interests, but you're scared to do it. But this fear, this worry about what other people will think, this fear that you have of yourself and of judgment and of failing, and all these fears can hold you back and prevent you from being the person you're capable of being and living the life you actually want to live. And I'm all about that, reducing our suffering and helping you to live the life and be the person you want to be. And you can't be that if you're worried about making a certain choice. And so if you know you're going to die We're all going to die. Those people I'm worried about, they're going to die. The myself that I'm like living, like, why am I living someone else's life or someone's idea? I'm going to die. I'm just going to sit and go through the motions my whole life. Or I could die tomorrow and I just have been doing this. Like, that helps you to go, forget that. Like, people are going to judge me. I'm going to judge myself maybe. Like, but I don't care. I'm going to die. They're going to die. Like, I'm not going to let one person's opinion of me, there's billions in the world, or a few people's opinions of me hold me back, or my own opinion of me. Like, if I want to do it, I'm going to do it. If it's not hurting anyone, like, just because it's different doesn't mean it's bad. And so being comfortable to do that, and having that ability to make the choice, is sometimes you need that drastic extreme to say, we're all going to die. Just freaking do it. This kind of goes along with what I was saying, but it helps you just let go of fear, let go of judgment, let go of insecurity and doubt or other people's opinions. If you know you're going to die, like, why are you clinging so tightly to these worries or these feelings or how people perceive you? That's going to hold you back in so many ways. And so you have to go, what do I think of me? What do I want? What do I need? And it's not selfish. It's your life. No one has to live your life for you. They can do what they want in theirs. But it's freeing. You can free yourself from whatever chains you're holding yourself back with. And so free yourself. Go make the choices you want. What do you really want to do? What have you been scared to try? Whose opinion is holding you back? Who is holding you back? And at the end of the day, it's ourselves, because we're ultimately letting other people dictate that for us and decide it for us. It also helps you, thinking about your death, to focus on what really matters. Like, sometimes, going on in life, because you're going with your day-to-day, stuff's annoying, or emotions happen, or like someone does something that upsets you, or that's hard, or whatever. You get into an argument, or you're like, oh, this is annoying, or whatever. Or you waste time, like, just feeling a certain way that's not fun. Like, why? What if you're getting in an argument with your spouse and they're going to die tomorrow? Or you're like, oh, they're being so annoying. What if you knew that they were going to die tomorrow? Would you still be acting like that? I'm not saying that, like, we just can never live our life and, like, just assume you're going to die tomorrow, but it can help you. And you can maybe go, I know sometimes I'm like, you know what? If I'm worrying about a certain situation, I'm like, why am I worrying about this so much? Like, I'm going to die. Like, does it really matter? Is it going to matter in 5 minutes, 5 days, 5 years? Like, that can help too, but let it go. Like, what if the person I love is not going to be here anymore? You know what? Would I really care so much about this thing? Maybe I would, and I'll keep working on it, but maybe I just let it go. Right? And so it can just really, really help you to really stay focused on what matters and who matters to you, and live in accordance to how you really want to live, and not waste the precious time that you have. It's like, I don't want to waste my time thinking about that. That's so stupid. Does that really matter? No. Is my own ego in this? Yeah, probably. I'm just going to let it go. It also helps you to stay grateful. To stay grateful for what you have. To stay grateful for life, like it's a gift, I've talked about this, like I had an IT band issue, I think it's that, and so I can have like pain. I just like sitting and standing, like doing anything can hurt sometimes, like a lot. And I had gotten physical therapy for it, but still not quite there. So I'm going to go see an orthopedic specialist. But like, regardless, I'm like, oh, life is so beautiful. And life is also so beautiful. I need to go get this fixed so I don't have to be in pain, right? But just every day is a gift. Just waking up is a gift. Feeling, experiencing, going through the struggles, getting to try, getting to have the opportunity to try. Like, I get to live, like, in thinking about it too with limitations. You can think about it with your death, but also what if you have restrictions? What if, like, I think people wake up and they're like, oh, like, I don't look so pretty today. And it's like, and then maybe they wake up and they have now like all these scratches on their faces or acne. And then they're like, oh man, I wish I would have appreciated when I just was myself. Or even you're old and you're like, oh my gosh, looking at old pictures of yourself. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm so gorgeous. What was I doing? Like maybe I didn't look like her or him, but I'm still amazing. Dang it. I don't know. It just, Or if you're in a hospital room and like having to go through a cancer treatment, or even if you just like, I was in the emergency room the other day, like, and everything's fine, don't worry. But I'm like, gosh, just to get outside in the sun just gives you perspective. I think perspective is such a gift. And if there's anything you can do to give yourself that, and a lot of people who have near-death experiences, they have this newfound appreciation and gratitude for life. And so I think thinking about your own death can kind of, it doesn't put you like this close to death where you're like, oh my gosh, like, whoa, I was almost dead. But it's as close as I've found without having to go through something that's a near-death experience to really feeling that. And the more you can be conscious of it, it's not like this creepy or weird thing. It's just like, even if you have a hard moment or a worry that's going through your brain, just think to yourself, like, I'm going to die. Like, does this really matter to me? Like, is it worth it? Or how would I approach this? How can I approach this more efficiently? Maybe it does matter to me, but do I need to spend like 2 days on it or 6 hours about this? No, let's like just work it out in 15 minutes. So life's a gift. And we waste so much time on stupid stuff. We don't need to. You don't need to. Be done with it. This is why I think about my death every day and why I think you should too. I hope it's helpful. I hope it's a good strategy. If you have questions, let me know. Feel free to check out this video on how I'm going to be a millionaire in a few years as a teacher.